Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to Travel Feels. Today we're going to talk all about storytelling. How to tell story in a vlog, in a tutorial, in whatever kind of video you're doing, how to tell story. But first, let's visit a good friend of mine that I haven't seen for a little bit. Check out this guy. What's going on, Travel Feels?
Fancy seeing you here.
I know, what are the odds, right?
It's been a while.
It's been like 100 years.
It's been too long.
So good to see you.
But this is gonna be fun. What are we doing?
We're gonna ride ATVs, ride snowboards, make vlogs and videos, and try not to crash drones. All right. That YouTube life.
I'm gonna ride this thing with that tow rope behind this guy.
Should be a fun day. So storytelling is one of those tricky things. It's so abstract that it's hard to understand. When somebody says story, I think of, like a book with like a good guy and a bad guy, and something happens, there's a problem and they have to fix it. That's what I think about story, and that's probably what a lot of you guys think about story too. But how do you tell story in something like a vlog or even a tutorial? That sounds even harder. How do you tell a story within those? How do you tell a story in every single one of your YouTube videos? And it's actually a lot simpler than it seems, and I'm gonna try to break things down a little bit and teach you guys what I've learned so far about storytelling, especially through YouTube. YouTube has actually taught me a lot about storytelling because it doesn't really matter what you're doing or what you're filming. As long as you're telling a story, people are probably gonna be interested in it. All right, I'm a little bit nervous. Peter hasn't rode the ATV too many times. Hopefully we'll be fine. And I've actually never been towed behind anything snowboarding, but should be fun, right? All right, let's do it. That's tiring, but super fun. So, people always think that you need something epic to do in order to have a good story in something like a vlog. But actually, that's just what you're doing. There's still no story to it. If me and Peter were just doing this, we were just towing snowboards around, it's not really a story. It might be fun, might be entertaining, but that's not telling a story. So a classic vlog with no story is one of these. I'm here with Peter on the back of an ATV. Now I'm hanging out in a forest. Now I'm lying down in some snow. Now I'm snowboarding. See, that's not telling a story. That's just saying what you're doing. And a lot of vloggers do that. They just say, I'm here doing this, and now I'm gonna do this later on. And you're just saying what's going on, but you're not actually telling any story in that vlog. And the biggest thing here is to just figure out, what is the video about? Whether it's a vlog or a tutorial, what is it about? The best way to test if your video has a story is letting somebody else watch it and then asking them, what was that video about? If they can't say what it's about, well then you don't have a story. You need to figure out what is the one thing that your video is about. And that can be anything. For example, right now we're riding ATVs and snowboarding in this random forest place, but the story here is about how to tell story. That's kind of meta, but that's what this video is about. You don't need a hero and a villain and all these other things. You just need a point to your video. Whether it's a tutorial, a vlog, whatever you're doing, it has to have some sort of point. You have to be saying something. And one of the things that helps with that is kind of giving your video some structure. So you need an intro, then you have the actual content, and then you have an outro. So you introduce your topic, what the video is about, why it's important, and then you go through it, and then at the end you kind of reiterate or give some sort of resolution to everything that you were going through. And that's how easy storytelling can be. It's not actually this vague, weird thing like I had in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. It's actually fairly simple, but you do need to think about it. And I think if you're not planning it out, it's gonna be really hard to actually have a story in your video. Otherwise, it's just gonna be one of these things. Well, guys, I'm here in an empty field. And that's just not all that interesting. But even if you're not doing anything exciting, if you have a really good story, it's gonna be an interesting video. People always think that you need to be doing something epic like this, snowboarding in the middle of nowhere behind an ATV, but you don't actually need that. You just need to be saying something. Just think about one point that people will remember and say, that's what this video was about. Now you might be saying, well, you make tutorials for the most part, you're not actually telling story. Well, that's not actually true. There's different ways of doing tutorials. If I wasn't telling any story in a tutorial, I would just literally tell you, here's the technique, here's how you do it, boom, done, that's it. But I try to give you some intro on why this thing is important, how it can help you, then I show you what it is, and then I try to tie it all in and summarize it up for you guys.
You having a good time, Peter?
I nearly lost this. I didn't realize like moguls were like dead ahead. So I was just cruising. I like strapped this down with bungee cords. It's like, no halt. And then it was just like started flapping and flopping all over. And I was like, oh, it's done. Thank goodness I had the lens hood on because it was just like.
Is my snowboard still there?
Yeah, I made sure I had one arm on it. So it's like I was just your snowboard's fine.
Man, oh man, was that fun, but whoa, that's tiring. I don't know if I'm getting older. That's just a really hard workout.
How's that, Peter?
That was awesome. I'm super pumped. My stuff is soaked, man. Everything is like, look at my camera.
But at least it's not stolen.
Yeah, I mean, well, no one's gonna find a green pelican in a green forest in the middle of nowhere when it's freezing rain outside in northern Canada.
And yeah, it's Canada, so even if somebody did find it, they probably wouldn't steal it.
Like, who does this belong to?
They'd probably bring it to like the police station or something.
Yeah, and
like,
if,
I
you know
found
what?
this.
If it gets stolen under those circumstances, you deserve for it to be stolen. Because you put your 1DX in a forest in a tree and hit it and pieced out. We really did that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, that was fun. It took a lot longer than we thought. We're kind of losing light here, so I'll see you in the studio. All right, so let's take a look at a few things that we can all do to kind of guarantee or ensure that we have the best chance of telling a really cool story in our video, in whatever kind of video we're doing. Number one, and probably the most important, is to figure out what is your video about. Choose one topic so that somebody else watches it, they know that this is what this video is about. Your video needs one point, one topic, something that gives it value and hopefully also entertains the audience at the same time. Number two, intertwine that topic or that idea, that story into your vlog or your tutorial or whatever you're doing. So you could be doing anything at all, like snowboarding on the back of an ATV, and then you have this topic or this thing that you're talking throughout the video. Intertwine that in, it's really gonna help you tell story. Number three, if it helps, break it into a beginning, a middle, and an end. Have an intro, then have your stuff, and then have an outro. That really helps me, especially when I'm thinking about the video beforehand, kind of planning what am I gonna do for the intro, and then what's gonna happen in the actual video, and then how am I gonna end it. Number four, plan out your video. It's gonna help so much if you actually think about all these things beforehand. Instead of just starting to film and just going along with it, it's gonna be really hard to actually tell a story if you're not thinking about it beforehand. So plan it out. And that leads us to number five, which is be okay with improvising. Things happen that you're not prepared for, that you're not planning for, but as long as they fit your story, make sure to just go along with those. And sometimes those are the best things in your videos. So make sure you have a plan going into the video, but be okay with improvising at the same time. So there you go. There's some easy tips for you to ensure that you're telling story in your videos. And the more you do this, the more you practice it, the more you start realizing these patterns of, intro, middle, and then outro, and what that means and how does that fit in for your tutorial or your vlog or whatever you're making on YouTube or commercial or wherever it is.
And the best part about this is that anybody can do it. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't need expensive gear. Anybody can tell story as long as you're planning it out, thinking about it beforehand. Anybody can tell a story. And again, you don't need some epic adventure or some crazy thing in your video. You can be doing something really mundane. As long as the story is there, people are going to be really interested in your video, and that's the most important thing. Don't get me wrong, it does help if you're being towed behind an ATV on a snowboard. It does make it a little bit more interesting and more entertaining, but without the story, it's going to be really boring no matter what you're doing. Everyone is capable of telling a story. All right, guys, this is actually going to be the last video before Christmas, so Merry Christmas to each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys have some nice time with your family and your friends, and maybe just get some time off. That helps a lot. And I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you guys. This year has been crazy, this channel, everything that's happened. I'm just really happy about this year, and I'm happy it's Christmas. I like Christmas. All right, guys, if you feel like it, touch that like button, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join this community. Guys, Merry Christmas, enjoy the filmmaking process, and go get some of those travel feels.
Ooh.